Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays. And today's theme, actually it's got a couple of themes. Today's theme is Chinese light tanks. We're going to have two Chinese light tanks replays, but also they're both on Sand River. And we are kicking off today with a game in a Type 64, the Tier 6 Chinese light premium tank. And if you follow my stream, or maybe have watched some of my older videos, you'll know that I think this is one of the best premium tanks in the game. I think it is definitely the best value for money as regards any premium tank in the game. I think it is really good value for money, but the caveat or the downside is you need to probably like playing light tanks. If you buy this tank and you're not a fan of light tanks, you're probably not going to enjoy it. But if you do like playing scouts, if you do like playing light tanks, I think it is a fantastic tank. So we're with SvarunPogani, and I never know how to pronounce your name. I am so sorry. I'm just going to call you Svarun. But Svarun is here on, as I say, Sand River, and it's a very nice matchup. It is a Tier 7 game. It's also a pretty close game, a 51%er, and Svarun is platooned with an IS-2 Luna 1, and we are just gonna go. So it's a standard battle, and Svarun is going to be rather aggressive. Nice acceleration. I do love the Type 64. About the only thing that kind of lets the tank down is the fact it only has a 128mm of penetration, but the gun is rapid firing, and in a matchup like this you are not going to need very much premium ammunition. So you can see he is well in advance of his team. In fact, he is the only tank who's come over here to this flank so far. And he's pushing the ridge to see if he can get spots, and oh my, how many spots has he just gotten? That looks like an automatic scout medal to me. That looks like about 10 spots. So all of those spots are Svarun's. And he's just patiently waiting for his team to move up. He's constantly pushing the ridge. He's constantly keeping these enemy tanks lit up. And now he decides he's going to poke. Gets one shot into the PZSFL. And he's finally gotten some backup. So there's a Tiger P moving in behind. T-43 and an IS-2. So you can see him looking at this AMX, a tank he's going to have no problems penning. AMX advances. And Svarun rushes that shot and pulls back before the AMX is able to hit him. So at the moment it's basically 4 friendly tanks here versus most of the enemy team. His team have actually lemming trained down the other side of the map, but he's going to work on this AMX while this AMX is focused on some other tank behind him. And he is just pumping the damage in. Unfortunately bounces at a bad angle. SU-100 takes him out. And he's being very careful. He's keeping an eye on that mini-map. He realizes that enemy tanks are trying to push the ridge on top of him. But he sees this IS on low health, bounces his first shot, aims the next shot very carefully at the lower glacis, takes him out for kill number 1. And he is keeping an eye on this mini-map. There are a lot of tanks here to worry about, but thankfully all 4 tanks that came over to this flank are still alive. So T-14 has pushed. How did the T-14 get into this matchup? But Svarun is able to go to work, get 2 shots into the side of the T-14. Someone else takes him out. The enemy tanks are pushing the ridge. Takes out the RL-44. So T-14 was platooned with a BDR. Okay, that explains why he's in this matchup. But Svarun is on about 1,000 damage. He's on 2 kills. And unfortunately, the IS-2 has died, so now it's just Svarun and a Tiger P over here. He's going to work on this VK, bounces that shot, aiming for the weak strip. Gets another shot in. So even though there were only 4 tanks over here, they all did really, really well. MT-25's going and making a run, just misses. But in the meantime, his team have dominated on the other flank because there were very few enemies over here, or over there. They were all over here. VK takes out the Tiger P. Svarun auto-aims, goes over the hill, circles him to death. There's kill number 3, and this KV-1S... Okay, Chinokai is relocated. KV-1S is not looking this way. And there's nothing scouts love more than isolated heavy tanks. So he's auto-aiming, got one shot in on the move, and now this KV-1S is running for it. His team are capping. And Svarun is continuing to put shots in. And he's able to circle this KV-1S. He's auto-aiming, so he doesn't even need to see him to shoot. Sets him on fire. And finishes him off for kill number 4. Now, unfortunately, his team cop out, even though there's an MT-25 left. But a really, really nice game. A little bit of frantic play and maybe even a little bit of panic at times. But 4 tanks held out against the majority of the enemy team. Really, really nice game in a Type 64. So SvarunPogani called this replay Type 64 badass, and I would pretty much agree. I think this is a great light tank. He finished up with an ace tanker and also scout because he spotted most of the enemy team at the beginning of the game. He finished top on XP with 1349, nice XP total. 2,105 damage. You can see that even though he was a scout, he finished top on damage, top on XP, and also picked up 4 kills. He fired 28, hit 23, penned 18. The gun, unfortunately, the penetration can let you down sometimes, but still, he was a really, really nice performance. He spotted 10, damaged 7, destroyed 4, and did 1,421 assistance damage. He wasn't playing with a premium account, but still earned 43,000 credits. It is a really, really good moneymaker, and really, really good value for money. I really can recommend the Type 64, even though I haven't reviewed it yet, but as I say, you do have to like light tanks in order to get the most out of it. 1349 XP on a ×3 event, and with some special bonus thrown in means he finished up on a very nice 4,384. So that was the first of 2 light tank games on Sand River, and we are just going to move on. Next up, we have Nealon Travels in her WZ-132, the Tier 8 Chinese light tank. And again, it is on Sand River, but this time it is an assault game, and Nealon is defending. So getting spots for her team is going to be very, very important. Kind of strange to see Nealon in a Chinese tank that isn't... I was going to say the 140 is not a Chinese tank. The 140 is Russian. It's kind of strange to see Nealon in a non-Russian medium tank. But she's gotten up to the ridge. She's using the bush. She's got her first spot off, an IS-8 advancing across the middle. No binocs, so she may be using coated optics. Spots a T-71 in the middle and also a T-34. So she's not firing, she's passive scouting, she's spotting these tanks. Tiger 88 spotted in the distance. And again, she's not firing, and wow, that T-34 just got annihilated. M53 just one-hit kill that poor T-34. So hopefully, Nealon got most of that XP and credits from her spotting. Still keeping an eye on this Tiger 88 that's advancing. IS-8 sitting up here, and no one has been able to put shots in yet. Now, if Nealon wants to open fire on any tanks, that IS-8 is going to have no problem spotting her. And you can see she's on her own over here. Most of her friendlies who've come to defend this flank are sitting back in H0. So she's gone for a shot on that Tiger 88, and it does get her spotted. Now, even though her friendlies have not pushed up to support her, at least they're in a position to to take shots at enemy tanks that try to rush her position. So she's pushed forward, spotted the IS-8 again, and this Jagdtiger has now appeared. So Nealon pushes up, is easily able to overmatch the Jagdtiger 88's armor, even at that angle. I do like the WZ-132, but unfortunately I'm not playing it at the moment because both the T-34-2 and the WZ-132 both lead on to the WZ-120 on the Chinese lines, and there's no point in grinding two tanks at the same time when they both lead to the same place. You just end up gathering XP on one of those tanks that you're never going to be able to use. So I had to pause on the 132 grind, and now I'm just grinding the T-34-2. But I am looking forward to getting back into this tank when I'm done with the T-34-2, and Nealon simply just waits until as our team continue to work on that Jagdtiger. So T-71 is below her and has proxy spotted her, but she did push the ridge, spotted Tiger P. And that IS-8 is still sitting there on most of his health. So Nealon sees that the Jagdtiger's a one-hit kill, moves up and has to deal with really poor gun depression, takes the Jagdtiger 88 out, but takes a big hit from the Waffenträger who's sitting on the hill. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was worth it. Gets the kill, but takes 500 damage. A little bit of a rush of blood to Nealon's head there to try and get the kill. But she does type, gets some revenge, gets a shot into the Waffenträger, and she types in chat that Waffenträger has lost his spotter. So she's able to go to work on this Waffenträger, gets 2 shots in. Not much to aim at. And that shot may have gone in. We'll see whether or not the Waffenträger's on lower health. He was on around 1100 health when Nealon fired that blind shot. But Nealon's up to 1000 damage, 1 kill, and she's still spotting tanks, still pushing the ridge. Tiger P in the distance. And as you can see, orange reticule, Nealon's aiming for the lower glacis and gets the shot in. Now the guns on the WZ-132 aren't exactly the most accurate. They're okay, but I wouldn't call them accurate. So that was maybe a risky shot on a very small target on the lower glacis. Nealon does get the shot in, but again, if it was me, I probably would have gone for the turret. It's a much bigger target, much more chance of hitting it, as I say, because the gun is not that accurate. So fully aimed again on the lower glacis, thinking about a turret shot, goes for the lower glacis again, and the shot goes low. And again, it gets her spotted, so she falls back. T-71 is flanking. Nealon reloads, gets 1 shot in, goes to chase down the T-71, but he gets taken out by the ST-1. Thankfully, someone has taken out the IS-6 that was to her left. But very dominant game on assault. The enemy team are being really passive. They're doing too much camping. And Nealon sneaks up, finishes the Tiger P for kill number 2. So Nealon is relocating. Only 3 tanks left on the enemy team now. Someone else has spotted the Waffenträger. And he's still sitting up where he was last spotted, and Nealon is well out of his view range. Is able to sit here, aim fully, gets 1 shot in. Continuing to exact revenge for that shot she took earlier from him. And finishes him off for kill number 3. 2000 damage so far. 2 enemy tanks left, and Nealon's continuing to advance. So an IS-3 was last spotted down in C3, but there are friendlies moving in. I think Nealon's hunting for Arty. Okay, IS-3 has retreated. Nealon's turning around to deal with the IS-3. Spots Arty. Arty's showing the rear, gets 1 shot in. Safe from the IS-3, reloading. Arty is a 1-hit kill. So Nealon finishes off the Batchat Arty for kill number 4, and her team take out the IS-3. So a pretty solid scout game there from Nealon. She did some passive scouting at the beginning, got a lot of tanks spotted, and a T-34 annihilated before he could get into the game. Moved into damage dealing and spotting, maybe a little bit more active spotting and damage dealing towards the end of the game, but that's pretty much how I play my scouts too. She finished with a mastery badge and also sniper. She finished top on XP with 1231 XP, 2771 damage done, so that blind shot on the Waffenträger did go in, and 4 kills. And again, for a scout, didn't finish top on damage, but still managed to come second on damage, top on XP. Really, really nice game. She fired 14, hit 13, and penned 13. Really nice performance from the gun. Did miss a shot on the Tiger P, but the gun isn't the most accurate, but Nealon had a lot of good shots there. Spotted 7, damaged 5, destroyed 4, and did 2,492 assistance damage. 34,000 credits on a premium account. It wasn't the first game of the day, but there was some sort of special going on. So she earned 1846 base XP with 3,230 XP overall. So 2 really, really nice Chinese light tank games on Desert, or on Sand River. It's called Desert in the replay file. And I hope you guys enjoyed them. I love light tank replays. I really do enjoy light tanks. And I want to thank Svarun and Nealon for sending those in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them, and I'll see you next time.